How's it going, Top 5 TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my preview for Nottingham Forest versus West Ham, taking place at the City Ground on Sunday. So it is our third consecutive Sunday fixture, and an opportunity for us to make it our third game unbeaten in the Premier League this season. One win, one draw to start the campaign off, and we welcome a West Ham side who are having an absolutely honking start to the season. To be fair to me, the Carabao Cup, they were, I think they were 2-0 up or 2-1 up against Wolves and ended up losing. So there's a little bit of something there, but their league form, I mean, they lost 3-0 to Sunderland on the opening day and then got absolutely walloped by Chelsea on Friday night. So, yeah, it's not looking great for them. Graham Potter is probably under a little bit of pressure, it's fair to say. And looking forward to this one, Looking at our recent results against West Ham, we've actually won every single game we've played against them at the City Ground since promotion. Opening home game of the season, first year we came up, first win in 22 years. We beat them 1-0. Tyra Awoniyi scored it, kind of hit off the post and hit his shin and went in. Then it was a 2-0, if I remember rightly. I think Williams should have had a penalty in that one. It was a game around February, I think. It was one where we really needed a win, and it was a big one for us. And I think it was 3-0 last season. I remember Ola Aina scoring an absolute screamer in that one. So yeah, look, way things are going, it's going to be 4-0. No, seriously, I think the way things are going, we look really set to get the 3 points. I mean, West Ham's struggling. We're playing all right, we're playing some good stuff. I was quite what's the word? Optimistic, if you will. I was quite encouraged, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. Encouraged after the draw against Palace. I know it was a draw, and okay, yeah, we had chances to win the game, and Murray Hutchinson with a chance near the end. Igor Jesus hit the post. We had chances to go and win the game. The football game was there for the taking, but we didn't do it. However, I think the encouraging thing for me, and I think the thing that really made me feel like optimistic was the fact that we went for it towards the end. We had players on the bench that could come on and make a difference. Players who could come off the bench, and they're not going to, be playing kind of out of position to try and get something from them, or they're not going to be players who don't have the ability to come on and change the game. We managed to bring on players like Murray Hutchinson, like Igor Jesus, like James McAtee, who can come on and cause problems, who can, change a game, add something a little bit different to what we were doing. And I think that's really encouraging to see, and it's really positive because I think we maybe lacked that a little bit of late. No disrespect, but we've had to bring on the likes of Jota Silva, who is a good player, don't get me wrong, but has to kind of be on his day, if you get what I'm saying. Whereas you've got Hutchinson, McAtee, Jesus, Colin Mwendo, he came off the bench. We've got players who can really cause problems and change things and offers a little bit of something different, a little bit more attacking impetus going forward, which I think is really positive to see. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that work more, I think, with a little bit more time and a little bit more understanding. They could cause problems, and they could really help us moving forward off the bench. But yeah, West Ham, like I say, are really struggling this season. They've been linked to Sangare on loan. I'm not too sure how legitimate that is. If it's down to me, I wouldn't sell Sangare. I wouldn't let him go on loan. I think he's a really solid midfielder and someone who can really offer us quite a bit this season. So for me, I probably wouldn't go with Sangare on loan to West Ham. I wouldn't really let it happen, because for me, like I say, I think he's had a really, an itch on my back of my neck there. Really positive start to the season, and especially at home to Brentford, looked brilliant. Other than the penalty situation. So yeah, look, I think for me, we've got to try and keep hold of him. I wouldn't like him to go to West Ham. They could definitely do with someone like him in the middle of that park to break things up. But yeah, West Ham, I don't know. I don't know where they're at. Only a few seasons ago they were winning the Europa Conference League, and now they're battling to probably stay in the Premiership. Last season, they were in almost relegation fight. I think if the bottom three were a little bit better, they would have been right in and amongst it. So, yeah, it's really interesting to see how things pan out for them. I know they've been linked to Matthias Fernandez, who was at Southampton. I think someone that a few of our fans were, wanting us to try and get. I don't think we need him now. Now that we've got McAtee, now that we've got, Hutchinson and players like that. I don't think we need somebody in that mould. But they've been linked to him for about 40 odd million pounds. So be interesting to see whether he can come in and make an effect. But yeah, Graham Potter is a manager that I really liked Graham Potter for a while, to be honest. I think when he was at Brighton, I think he was fantastic, and I really wanted him to be the next England manager. If Southgate went, or he has gone now. Obviously, at the time, maybe Potter wasn't the man, but at that moment, I thought Graham Potter would be the man that I wanted to take the England job. Should anything have happened to Southgate at the time before Potter went to Chelsea. Obviously, he went to Chelsea and it didn't really work out. I think the pressure was a little bit too much for him, maybe. You can afford to go to someone like Brighton and lose maybe 2 out of 3 and then win 2 out of 3. You don't have to win game in, game out. You're not under a lot of scrutiny and pressure if you drop a few points. Go on a mini run that's not great, but you turn it around sort of thing. You're under a lot of pressure at someone like Chelsea. If you don't win a game of football, you're going to be scrutinised. Questions are going to be asked why. It's not going to be, well, they've done all right so far this season. First 5 games they've won 2, drawn 1 and lost 1. Sorry, that's 4. 1, 2, drawn 2 and drawn 1, 2, drawn 1, lost 2, let's say. And then you can say, oh, well, they picked up 6 points, from 2 games, lost a couple, but they've got a draw, so they might be sort of turning things around a little bit. For Chelsea, if you lose, 2 in a row, you're going to be asked questions. You're going to be, on the chopping block. And, that clearly didn't work for him. He saw the bags under his eyes. He looked like he hadn't slept for about 12 weeks. He really looked like he was struggling. But then, he's gone to West Ham, and I thought, what, that might be a good gig for him, one where it's not going to be under scrutiny all the time. He plays good football, which is what Palace is what West Ham fans wanted, but it's just not really worked out, and players that he's got are they I don't know. There's been question marks given from West Ham fans saying, are the players capable of playing the way he wants them to play? Does he need a squad overhaul in what remains of the transfer window? They're not looking too pleased with him. And there's links to Sean Dyche, who might be the guy to try and get something out of this squad. Who knows? But yeah, I think they're in an interesting position, West Ham, and I think they're in a good position for us to go and play them. I think we've got a real chance to go and get something from this game. Back at home in front of our fans, 2 o'clock Sunday kickoff, which will be probably our norm instead of a 3 p.m. Saturday. It is because of the Europa League, which we find out tomorrow. Our league format opponents. We're going to be that 2 o'clock slot on a Sunday. So, look, I think, back where we're probably feeling a little bit more familiar. An opportunity to be back in front of our fans and to really, keep this decent start to the season going. If you offered me, say, 7 points from the opening 3 games, I probably would have taken it, Obviously, you want 9 from Brentford, Crystal Palace and West Ham. But, you see Crystal Palace, difficult side. Sellers Park is a tricky place to go to. I'd take it. I'd absolutely take it. And I think, really looking forward to seeing what Nuno does in terms of the lineup. Will we see any changes? He went unchanged in both games. The team that started against Brentford started against Palace. Is he going to make it 3 out of 3 for the hat trick? I wouldn't be shocked, and I wouldn't be disappointed if he did. I might want to see Douglas Luiz start maybe. in that midfield. I know, obviously, I say Sangai's had a really good start to the season, and he has. He absolutely has. But I'm kind of thinking, oh, maybe like being at home, we don't necessarily need that defensive-minded midfielder. We can go with someone like Douglas Luiz who can do the defensive duties, but can get on the ball, play passes, get himself forward. You know, I don't know. But for me, don't change something that's not broken. It seems to be doing okay. I know first half against Palace, we were under the cosh at times. We went in a goal down and things. But I don't know. I think for me, I wouldn't make changes for change's sake. If Nuno sees a reason to change something, then do it. I wouldn't make changes for change's sake. If I had to, I'd probably maybe bring in Douglas Luiz, maybe Colin Owendo up front, but I wouldn't really want to drop Chris Wood, especially against West Ham when there's goals to be scored. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Score prediction wise, I'm going to say 2-0 Forest. A nice convincing 2-0. And yeah, keep a clean sheet, first clean sheet of the season. And yeah, really looking forward to this one. I will be able to watch this one. Opening day of the season and the last game. I managed to watch like bits of it, but I've been at different, like, I was travelling home from Wales on the opening game of the season, so I was watching it, like, we stopped off at a McDonald's and I tried to watch a bit of it there, I tried to watch a bit of it in the minibus on the way home, and then was another event with the church I go to, where I was at the beach. So me and another guy tried to watch it on my phone, and we saw majority of it, but I wasn't able to sit down and properly focus on the game, and I should be able to do that this Sunday. So hopefully, yeah, I can sit and witness a really, really good win, really good 3 points. 2-0 Forest, goal scorers being Chris Wood and Dan Ndoye. Why not? Let's make it 3 goal involvements in 3 games for the Swiss international, who's just been called up again for Sweden. No, he hasn't, for Switzerland. I've got this thing. I always get them mixed up. Sweden and Switzerland. For some reason, I always get them mixed up. He's Switzerland and he's Swiss. Not Swedish and Swede. That was Alanga. He's gone now. Yeah, so really confident for this one. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. 2-0 Forest is my prediction. Let us know in the comment section down below your prediction. Like this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already to Talk Forest TV. And yeah, come on, you Reds.